Welcome to English Stories by Manvi Sharma, where simple stories create powerful lessons. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I am going to share a deeply inspiring story about failure, courage, and the power of never giving up.
Today's story is called The Girl Who Failed 7 Times. It is a story that reminds us that failure is never the end of the journey. Sometimes it is simply preparing us for something greater.
Section 1, The Childhood Medical Dream.
So let's travel to a small, quiet town where a young girl named Sophia lived. She held on to this truly beautiful dream. She didn't just want a job, She wanted a real purpose. She wanted to become a doctor. She would literally close her eyes and picture it so clearly. In her vivid childhood imagination, she saw herself walking down these long hospital hallways, wearing a crisp white coat, carrying a stethoscope, and doing the one thing she cared about most in the world, making people better. It was her life's true calling, and it just warmed her heart every single time she thought about it.
But there was one pretty significant hurdle standing in her way. Sophia wasn't exactly the naturally smartest student in her class. While the other kids seemed to just absorb the lessons like sponges, Sophia really struggled. Just to keep up, she had to study twice as hard. But her unwavering determination meant she never, ever stopped dreaming. Not for a second.
Section 2, 7 Heartbreaking Failures. As Sophia grew older, it was finally time to appear for the highly competitive medical entrance examination. She had sacrificed so much. She skipped holidays, missed out on parties, and studied day and night, truly believing this was her moment. But when the results finally came out, the screen showed a heartbreaking truth. She had failed. Her score just wasn't enough. Sophia cried all night long. That bright, beautiful dream she had nurtured since she was a little girl suddenly felt completely impossible.
And then came the voices. The people around her, who probably meant well but just didn't quite understand her heart, began talking. Maybe medicine isn't for you, they'd whisper. You should really choose something easier. Hearing those doubts from the people she trusted, it hurt her so deeply. It made her question absolutely everything. But Sophia gathered her strength and she tried again the very next year. She worked even harder. But she failed. She failed a 3rd time, a 4th time, a 5th time, a 6th time, and finally, a 7th time.
7 failures. 7 separate moments when the sheer weight of the world made her want to just quit forever. She watched as all her friends moved ahead in life, starting their careers, moving on. Meanwhile, Sophia remained stuck in the exact same place, endlessly chasing a dream that seemed to be constantly running away from her.
Section 3, The Riverstone Lesson.
One evening, at her absolute lowest point, Sophia sat completely alone in her room. Tears were filling her eyes, and she kept whispering to herself that maybe she just wasn't good enough. But that night, her grandmother walked in. Without a single word, she gently placed a small polished stone into Sophia's hand. This stone, she told her, sat in a river for years. The water hit it every single day. But instead of breaking, it became smooth and beautiful.
Sophia just felt the smooth surface in her palm. Then, her grandmother shared this incredibly profound truth. Life does not test people to destroy them. It tests them to shape them. Every failure has been shaping you. Those wise words completely broke through the darkness. For the first time in what felt like months, a genuine smile appeared on Sophia's face.
Section 4, Rebuilding with New Strategies.
The very next morning, that heavy cloud had totally lifted. Sophia made the brave decision to try one more time, because she absolutely refused to quit on herself. But she transformed her strategy this time. First, she honestly analyzed her past mistakes. Second, she improved her weakest subjects. And third, she created way better study habits. Instead of focusing on the fear of failing again, she focused entirely on daily progress. Day by day, she became stronger and so much more confident.
Section 5, The Final Victory.
Months later, examination day arrived. But as she walked toward that hall, she remembered every single tear and every sacrifice, and she finally felt prepared. She completed the exam with this quiet confidence. And then the agonizing wait began. Days slowly ticked by, then weeks. The anticipation just hung in the air, so heavy and silent.
Finally, the day arrived. Sophia's hands were literally trembling as she checked her score. She blinked, completely unable to believe her own eyes. She had passed. And actually, not just passed, she had earned one of the highest scores in the entire region. The tears finally rolled down her face. Not tears of sadness this time, but beautiful, overwhelming tears of victory. Years of agonizing failure had finally turned into ultimate success.
Section 6. The Power of Resilience.
Years later, that young girl who struggled so much became a highly respected, deeply trusted doctor. She had achieved the impossible, empowered by the profound resilience she built over those 7 dark years. Now, whenever someone tells Dr. Sophia the road is too hard, she smiles a knowing smile and says, "Success didn't come because I was smarter than everyone else. It came because I stayed when others would have left."
And so, we arrive at the heart of our story today. Failure is not the end of your journey. Every failure teaches a lesson, builds strength, and prepares you for success.
The people who succeed in this life aren't always the most naturally talented. They are often simply the ones who absolutely refuse to give up. So, ask yourself, what mountain will you conquer next? If you are struggling right now, please remember this. Your next attempt could be the one that changes your life forever.